गुड मॉर्निंग।
मॉर्निंग मैम।
कैसी चल रही है पढ़ाई? थोड़ा सा भी जोश आ रहा है कि फाइनली स्टार्ट करना है पढ़ाई। चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट फर्स्ट विद द रिविजन। कल जो हमने किया था वी हैव टू रिवाइज इट लिटिल बिट एंड देयर आर सर्टेन एनालिसिस वी हैव टू कवर विद दैट एनालिसिस। ओके, so the first was related to our residential status. So first was related to residential status, and along with that we have done little bit thing that where to use the name of the person, where to use the word that is assessee. Person is generally a person, but when it is liable to text, then only it get converted into assessee. After that, we have done certain concept related to income computation. I think at least the concept of the presentation is bit clear now. Task for today. You have to within 2 minutes make entire income computation as much fast as possible. Don't take more than 2 minutes, but if you are taking more than 2 minutes, note down the time, because anyhow during the exam we have to reduce it to 2 minutes only. Okay, so write down your task. Then today you have to again write down the income computation wala format. Okay, now starting with a quick revision of residential status of individual. When I talk about an individual, be very specific here. When I talk about individual, I have to check certain basic condition. When I talk about individual, I have to check certain basic condition. The basic condition is condition number 1. He should stay in India for 182 days or more in the previous year, or here it is or 60 days or more in the previous year and 365 days or more in preceding 4 previous year relevant to the current previous year. This we have to check. That means 182 days in the previous year. If it is not applicable, then check whether previous year में 60 days है and 365 days or more in the relevant 4 previous year. ठीक है? If this any of one condition is satisfied, if any one condition is satisfied, the person is considered to be a resident. If any one condition satisfied, the person is considered to be resident. Now I will check whether it is resident and ordinary resident, or it is resident and not an ordinary resident. In order to check that, I will check two conditions, that in 10 years he should be resident for at least 2 years, or in 7 years he should have stayed in India or resided in India for 730 days or more. These were the two conditions. If both the conditions are satisfied, then I can consider it to be a resident and ordinary resident. If any one condition is satisfied and other condition is not satisfied, he will be considered to be resident and not an ordinary resident. This was the most simplest part of it. But now, there are certain exceptions, there are certain exceptional case. In that exceptional case, only condition number 1 has to be checked. So only condition 1 in the exceptional case, that is if he is an Indian citizen and leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship. If foreign ship has been returned, then we have to apply what? General rule. Okay. Now, second was if he leaves India for the purpose of employment, he is leaving India for the purpose of employment, then also it is applicable only to Indian citizen. Only for the Indian citizen, the same thing has been applicable if he leaves India for the purpose of employment. Now, this is applicable to both, whether Indian citizen or whether it is person of Indian origin. Whether Indian citizen or person of Indian origin, you have to check all these things together. First of all, the Indian citizen or person of Indian origin stays outside India. Indian citizen or person of Indian origin actually stays outside India. For what? He's staying outside India for either business or profession. And again the condition and he visits in India. So first of all, he should stay outside India for the purpose of business or for the purpose of profession, and he is visiting in India. And condition number 1, he is staying outside India. If he generally stays outside India, I am not concerned about this, but he should stay outside India for the purpose of business profession. He visits in India, and third condition is he should have total income that exceeds 15 lakh. He should have total income that exceeds 15 lakh. Why I am focusing on this? If you are an Indian citizen or person of Indian origin, and in India you are earning more than 15 lakh, we want taxes. If in India you are earning more than 15 lakh, we want taxes. So first cases, this is nothing but the analysis. Suppose if your total income is less than 15 lakh. Suppose your total income is less than 15 lakh. They are saying, see, if you fulfill this condition, that is 182 days or more, then we are not concerned about your income. If you are fulfilling the condition that in previous year 182 days or more you are residing, so we will not consider whether your income is 15 lakh, more than 15 lakh, less than 15 lakh. We are not concerned. In that case, we will apply a general rule. That means if you have less than 15 lakh income although, and you stay in India for 182 days or more, we will definitely, if you fulfill this condition, we will definitely check the additional condition to identify whether you are an ordinary resident or you are not an ordinary resident. That means अगर वो generally 182 days रह रहा है इंडिया में, तो why I will be concerned about the total income he is earning? Genuinely he is a resident. I just have to check whether he is ordinary resident or he is not an ordinary resident. Now, so the text, you have to check the additional condition, and on the basis of whether he becomes ordinary and not an ordinary, genuinely you will apply the taxes. That is, you will consider whether it is covered in scope of income or not. But what if he stays less than 182 days? Point to be noted. If he stays less than 182 days and his income is also less than 15 lakh, bhai, your income also less than 15 lakh, you are staying less than 182 days, then you are clearly a non-resident for us. You are clearly a non-resident for us. So this is a combination of two things. Check the income. First of all, you reside outside India? Yes. For what? For business or profession. Are you visiting in India? Yes, I am visiting in India. For what? I am visiting for any purpose, that doesn't matter, but you should stay outside India for business and profession only. If you visit in India, are you earning income in India? No, I am not earning income in India. What is the point? If you are not earning income in India, we will only check your residential status, that is 182 days or more. Again, I am staying outside India. I came to India. I visit India. By visiting India, I am earning income. How much income you are earning? Let's say 7 lakh only. Still, I will check only 182 days ka condition. Why? Because your income is less than 15 lakh. But again, I was outside India. I visited India. What is your income? Exact 15 lakh. Still, you will check 182 days ka condition, because I have explained exceed 15 lakh has to be seen. I am outside India, visited in India. Now my income is 18 lakh. Now wait. If your income exceed 15 lakh and 182 days ka condition I failed to satisfy, then I have another basic condition, and that basic condition applies only and only if you have total income in India more than 15 lakh. So if I am having my total income more than 15 lakh, what is my condition? You should stay in India in previous year for 120 days. And preceding 4 years, that is relevant to the current previous year, 4 years, you should stay in India for 365 days. If both the conditions are satisfied, previous year 120 and 365 days in 4 years, then you will consider to be resident and not an ordinary resident. We will not check any additional condition. That means additional condition will be checked only and only when you are complying 182 days ka condition. And if you fail to comply the 182 days ka condition and your income is more than 15 lakh, then we will have that condition 120 plus 365 days and 4 years. Done. Now you are considered to be resident and not an ordinary resident only. Now my concern is this person resides in the previous year for 120 days. Now what institute can do? He is in previous year. In previous year, he is staying in India for 120 days. But in 4 previous year, if you total, he is staying in India for only 364 days. So you have to remember one thing. There are 2 conditions. It should be 120 days in previous year, and in 4 years, it has to be 365 days. If you fail to remember this chota sa point, it could lead to change of residential status and your question will be entirely wrong. So in this you have, analysis. Sabse pehla kya? If your total income is, you are not earning any income in India, you are an Indian citizen, you visit India 182 days. Again, you are earning less than 15 lakh, you are earning equal to 15 lakh. You come to India, again 182 days. But again, you are coming to India and your total income is greater than 15 lakh. In that case, now I will see if you cannot satisfy 182 days ka condition, I have another condition for you, and that another condition is previous year 120 days and relevant 4 years 365 days. Both has to be complied with. Now, that means I can say a crux of it, he has to be Indian citizen or person of Indian origin, and he has to stay in India for previous year 120 days and 365 days, and again he has to be what? Indian citizen, person of Indian origin, and exceeding 15 lakh total income. This all are actually and 15 lakhs is other total income should be there. 4 years and 365 days has to be there. 120 days previous year has to be there. So this all and all come together, and if all these things are complete, then only the person is resident and not an ordinary resident. So this has been written in the chart itself. See, if the total income is more than 15 lakh, you stay in India for less than 182 days. You fail to comply that 182 days ka condition. So wait, another condition is this. Stay in India in previous year 120 days and 4 years 365 days. Now, okay, this is, I will again scan and give you. Stay, if this person stays more than 120 days plus 365 days. See, if yes, he complies this condition. Okay, he is complying this condition. So can I say the crux? If his total income is more than 15 lakh, he stays for this much time, he is either Indian citizen or person of Indian origin. If all and get complied, then he is resident and not an ordinary resident. But ma'am, if he does not comply, it is less than, if he stays in India for less than 182 days, then what will happen? Either he stays for less than 120 days, but he complies this condition, that is in 4 previous year, he is residing for 365 days. Doesn't matter. Why? Previous year 120 days as well as 4 years 365 days, both need to be complied. That means he is clearly a non-resident. Done? Now, when I talk about this person, simply an Indian citizen. He is simply an Indian citizen. He is outside India earning business, doing profession, whatever he is doing. He visits India, but not paying taxes due to resident rule, not paying taxes due to domicile rule. That means he is not at all paying taxes. So in that case, don't see the number of days. Again, don't look for the number of days. Why? Because he is an Indian citizen. He is staying outside India. He is in business or profession outside India and not paying taxes anywhere. So in that case, it is deemed the rule. if you are an Indian citizen and if you earn income more than 15 lakh, again, if you earn total income more than 15 lakh, I will not be concerned about the number of days. You are deemed resident. So are you getting the clear logic? Yesterday we have just built a structure of it. Now this is the whole soul concept. So that means when it comes to deemed resident, that means when it comes to what? Just a minute. When it comes to deemed resident, in case of deemed resident, first thing, you should only be an Indian citizen. You should only be what? An Indian citizen. When it comes to what? More than 15 lakh ka income, as well as you are Indian citizen or person of Indian origin, then your other conditions also come. Priya, have a walk. If you feel sleepy, have a walk right now. Okay? So this is the whole soul thing. Any doubt in that? Abhishek? कल का क्लियर हुआ? बोलो भाई, जल्दी बोलो। क्लियर। हाँ, क्लियर हो गया? ठीक है, चलो। अब what kind of questions would be given? See, can't expect more questions from that because ये already amendment, it has been 2 attempts now. But yes, we have to be clear about the residential status of individual because it would come in comprehensive questions. And we have to link that comprehensive question with the scope of income. That is why it is important. So see, those who are not having the this compact, right now see over here. See, the first is example 1. Mr. Ali, an Indian citizen. I always tell you one thing, focus on the kind of person. So Mr. Ali, सबसे पहले क्या? Mr. Ali is individual and Indian citizen. Now see, working in US, he is having business or profession outside India. ठीक है? During the previous year 2021, 22 visits India for 177 days and 145 days respectively. He stay in India for previous year this is given like this. His income from previous year 21-22 is following, and you have to determine the residential status for 22-23. Could you determine his status? You know the, don't see the questions, don't see the answer. तुमने ना attempt की कसम खा के रखी है कि answer नहीं देखोगे जब तक खुद try नहीं करोगे. So Priya, don't peek into the answer. First of all, try yourself. Giving you 2 minutes. कि अभी तो इतना लॉजिक समझ आए. Giving you 2 minutes, find out. Ram, start writing. Try out. Sudhir, keep your videos on. Done. So let us check. First of all, we were concerned about this thing, and किसने मुझे एक ने भेजा है अभी. That is so incomplete. Abhishek, you have sent me, right?
Yes मैम, इसमें मेरा जो 365 दिन वाला आउट छूट गया इतना.
You have sent me so incomplete. You have to present it properly. अभी से presentation ढंग से करोगे तब वहाँ पे practice होगी अच्छे से करने. ठीक है? चलो. So residential status we have to check for 20 to 23. बताओ previous 4 years कहाँ से start होंगे? Tell me. What is the previous year for 20 to 23? The very basic question. 21, 22. Very good. So 21, 22. This is my previous year, and what is the stay in previous year? 145 days. Is he complying with the first condition? First is he is Indian citizen. हमको सारी condition देखना. First he is Indian citizen. Yes. Is he staying in previous year for more than 120 days? That means yes. Now third, in relevant years, is he staying for more than 365 days? 4 years. May check it out.
Yes.
177 plus your 155 plus 100.
Yes.
Is he staying?
Yes. Yes.
How many days?
Yes, ma'am. 552.
So that means on and on he is complying with the condition. He is resident and not an ordinary resident. Now your income computation. Would you include income from salary, rent, etc. in USA? It is 25 lakh. In USA he is earning 25 lakh. 50,000 ka deduction. Who has failed to give the 50,000 ka deduction?
Ma'am, just a second. हमने उसको RNOR कैसे डिटरमाइन किया? लाइक अभी इनकम तो चेक करी नहीं थी, उसके पहले ही करते.
इनकम क्यों चेक करेंगे? We have to check the stay in India, ना? RNOR is determined on the basis of your residential status.
But when there is less than 182 days, तो फिर हम 120 प्लस वो दोनों कंडीशन चाहिए, मतलब तीनों चेक करेंगे. तो
नहीं, you are correct. Let me please confuse. चलो, you are very correct. 15 lakh तो अभी हमने देखा कहाँ है? His total income should be 15, exceeding 15. But मैं अभी ये पूछ रही थी कि now 25 lakh is the salary in USA. ठीक है? तो have you returned that 25 lakh का salary of USA? Have you returned? क्यों नहीं लिखा? Why you have not returned? Remember, exceeding you have to check total income exceed 15 lakh, but it should not include foreign sources की income. Only Indian source income. So that means this is not relevant for me. My second question. Suppose I have to include it. Suppose I have to include this 25 lakh. So would I subtract 50,000 as a deduction? Remember that standard deduction wala concept. Would I subtract 50,000? Arey, that is Income Tax Act applicable in India. He is earning salary from outside India. So if he is earning salary from outside India, don't make a mistake of giving a standard deduction of 50,000. Clear? So this was my point first, that if in case you have to include somewhere in any question, you have to include the salary income outside India. That salary income would be taxable, sure, but do not deduct 50,000 ka standard deduction because it is earned outside India, and Income Tax Act does not apply outside India. And here for this wala question, we are not concerned about this because it is foreign source ka income. Then income from business in US, again he is in USA. Am I concerned about this income? Should I include it? So I will.
No, ma'am. No.
But income from business in USA, control is in India. There is a concept we will come to know that is deemed to accrue arise in India for resident and not an ordinary resident. If you have business and that is controlled from India, this income will definitely be included. Just because you have not studied the scope of income, so just remember, yes, India se control hai na, the control is from India. So that means the nexus is in India. Your income has a nexus in India. Interest on FD. Bank is in Mumbai. Obviously, the source is in India. 11 lakh will be considered. Who has forgotten this? LIC premium in India, 2,60,000. Remember one thing. Total income was written. Total income should exceed 15 lakh. Generally, students add 8 lakh. They add 11 lakh. Now it comes to 19 lakh and they totally forget that it is about total income. That means gross total income minus deduction. Then it will be coming total income. So you have to subtract what? You have to subtract 2,60,000 from here. 2,60,000 from here I have to subtract. Again repeating. 1,50,000. अरे भाई इंस्टीट्यूट तो जानबूझ के देगा. Institute will want to confuse you, want your mistakes to be done. 80C maximum limit is 1,50,000. Even though 2,60,000 has been written, you cannot reduce 2,60,000. Remember 1,50,000. So what are the kind of mistake you can find in this question? You will subtract overall 2,60,000 might be if you are in hurry. No, 80C ki maximum limit 1,50,000. Second mistake, you might. What was the mistake? I only skipped from my mind. Skip हो गया मेरे दिमाग से. क्या mistake बता रही थी? मैं ही भूल गई. बोलते बोलते skip हो गया. चलो छोड़ो. जब याद आएगा तब बताऊंगी. ठीक है. तो सबसे पहले 1,50,000 वाला is the mistake. ठीक है. So Mr. Ali पूरा देखा तो ये क्या है? रेसिडेंट एंड नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी रेसिडेंट. ठीक है. सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल, वुड इट मेक एनी डिफरेंस इफ एन एग्जाम्पल यूएस सिटीजन बट हिज ग्रैंड पेरेंट वॉज born in India, born in undivided India. So मुझे बताओ, is there any difference when grandparents born in undivided India? You remember grandparents born in undivided India, he is what he is? Person of Indian origin. So when he is person of Indian origin, I know it applies to both Indian citizen as well as person of Indian origin. There will be no difference. But if I apply this concept, same concept to that domicile reason, resident reason, would the answer will still be same? That will not be same because it is not applicable to person resident, person of Indian origin. Then, suppose in example 1, Ali's bank interest is 8,40,000 instead of 11 lakh. What would be your total income now? He's saying now it is not 11 lakh, it is 8,40,000. Calculate the total income. 8 lakh plus 8,40,000. This is 8 lakh, 8 lakh plus 40,000 and minus your 1,50,000. It is coming
less than 15.
No. We know na, we should have greater than 15 lakh, we should have Indian citizen, we should have residential status, then only he is RNOR. But this condition is not getting satisfied. That means I cannot say that he is resident and ordinary resident of India. But for condition, the crux you have to remember, only the crux, 3 condition has to be seen together. Mr. Kabir, individual Indian citizen. So it is individual Indian citizen. Employment outside India, Dubai, no income tax. Remember, Dubai में कोई income tax नहीं होता है. So he is individual, he is Indian citizen. In Dubai, he is having the employment. That means outside India, he is having employment. Previous year, visited India for only 55 days. 120 days, कोई matter नहीं कर रहा, कुछ नहीं. Only 55 days he is in India. Mr. Kabir is not taxable in Dubai. Obviously, because there is no income tax there. And any other country by the reason of domicile or resident. That means I think I am not concerned about his number of stays in India. If he is an Indian citizen, due to domicile, due to resident, not paying taxes anywhere, and his total income other than foreign source should exceed 15 lakh. Only one condition, that your income should exceed 15 lakh and domicile reason, your resident reason, you are not paying taxes at all. Then only I will be considered you as a deemed resident. Then only I will consider as you deemed resident. So only 55 days, not satisfying any basic condition. Here the concept of 6(1)(a) will apply. 6(1)(a) is nothing but deemed resident concept. Mr. Kabir, an Indian resident? Yes. You have to write all this condition. Have you just noticed, जब हम question कर रहे, when we were solving the question, we were reading it, I was saying, na, this condition satisfied, this condition satisfied. They have done nothing. They have written it very cleverly that these conditions are getting satisfied and this is your presentation skill. You also have to analyze and write this condition satisfied and therefore my answer is this. So all these conditions satisfied, so this is treated as deemed to be resident and it is always resident but not an ordinary resident. Where case number 1 as 15 lakhs se above hai, so it is getting satisfied. Here the income itself is less than 15 lakh. I am not considered about anything because the income is less than, so he does not satisfy this condition. Then suppose in example 4, Mr. Kabir is foreign citizen. Out of his grandparents was born in undivided India. Now he is saying, remember I have told you they will give this thing, the person of Indian origin. Actually Mr. Kabir is person of Indian origin. But this deemed concept, does it apply to the person of Indian origin? It does not apply to the person of Indian origin. It applies only to Indian citizen. So it applies only to Indian citizen, not to the person of Indian origin. So we will not check anything over here. Now, when you leave India, this is nothing but a chota sa explanation. See, when a person leaves India for the purpose of crew member of the Indian ship. Now, see, when a ship moves, from India to outside India, obviously it cannot cross the border of India in 1 second or 2 seconds like an aeroplane. So it will take 1 month, 2 months, in fact 3 months or 4 months to cross the border of India also. So would you count that 3 months, 2 months, 4 months when it is crossing India? So they are saying in that case, when a crew member, when an Indian citizen as a crew member of Indian ship leaves India, in that case, when the date when he leaves India, that is the date when he is leaving India, you will not consider this journey. When he is crossing India, that should not be considered. So he is saying, for the purpose of computation of number of days in India, what time limit would be excluded? From the date he enters into the continuous journey, that the date he entered into the continuous journey in respect of joining the ship and ending on date he enters into the continuous discharge certificate. That means there is a certificate they have to sign when they go for the ship. When they sign that certificate that I am leaving India, and when they reach outside, so this destination, this journey is got excluded. मतलब ये कि यहाँ से ये ship के लिए निकला, he has signed the certificate. He again reached back to India and again signed the certificate. Yes, my route has been completed. So this journey, let's say it is the journey of almost 180 days. Exclude that from residential status. Understood? So this completes the whole topic of residential status of an individual. So one task I have given, what was that task? To form a income computation format again. Income computation format again you have to write in hardly in 2 minutes. Don't take more than 2 minutes. Task number 2 for today. Without even reading anything, try to write whatever you have studied today. Then check what you forgot. And whatever you have forgot, write in that sheet I have given you, tough, easy, mistake. Write down in that sheet that in first revision only, because in class you have at least understood the thing. Now train your mind that it is actually our first revision. In first revision, whatever is your mistake, write it down that I forget this and this. So that should reduce in your second division. Done? So basic individual wala residential status have been completed. Any doubt? Sure.
मैम
हाँ.
ये रेसिडेंट नॉट ऑर्डिनरी रेसिडेंट और रेसिडेंट ऑर्डिनरी रेसिडेंट दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या होता है?
ऑर्डिनरी का रेसिडेंट का मतलब है कि बेसिकली वो इंडिया में ही है, थोड़ा बहुत विजिट करने इंडिया के बाहर जाता है. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी रेसिडेंट, मतलब आता जाता रहता है, बहुत ज्यादा इंडिया के अंदर ही नहीं रह रहा है.
तो इसमें इनकम में भी कोई डिफरेंस होता है क्या काउंट करने में?
अभी स्कोप ऑफ इनकम आएगा ना, देन वी विल लिंक दिस कॉन्सेप्ट टू दैट. वो अभी आने वाला है, अभी नहीं किया है ना. एक बार बस स्क्रॉल कर लो, ये जो पीडीएफ मैंने सेंड किया है उसको एक बार स्क्रॉल कर लो. वो ग्रुप में शेयर हुआ है तो मैं इस पे एक बार लगा देती हूँ स्क्रीन पे, जिनके पास है वो शेयर देख लो. Let me know if you have read so I can scroll.
It's my first page done.
I'm done.
Yes, I'm done.
And these questions you should just revise. Okay. So the time allotted for this task would be hardly 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, overall residential status concept, you have to write it down. Okay. So now we are starting with another important and very important, that is residential status of company. Very important, always expected a question from that, and it might come anytime. Alternately, it would be coming. So moving towards the residential status of company. Yesterday, I have given you a task to analyze the 5 papers with respect to question number 1. Who has not yet done this?
No, I have not done.
Why?
I will do it today.
You cannot do this procrastination. Write the reason in your sheet why you have not done, whatever was the reason. And every 3 to 4 days, you have to submit me that sheet. Okay. Akansha, have you done? Ram?
Not done.
Why?
Hmm.
Any very important reason that you skipped because of very important reason? Or was it manageable?
No, ma'am. Like, I was confused between the classes, and my sleep is, I'm adapting a different sleep cycle, so I'm not able to manage.
Different sleep pattern.
Yeah, like I used to sleep early and get up early, but I'm sleeping now late and morning also I'm not able to get up. So that is why. Usually I like work.
Usually you sleep at?
I sleep at 9:30 kind of.
One more thing. If everyone is comfortable, should we shift DT to 6 to 7, IDT 6 to 7:30 and DT 7:45 to 9:30? Morning sessions only. As like before.
I am comfortable, but then we have to ask IDT.
I have already done there. And the student who has already done, she is always absent. So she was not comfortable at night time because of her office. But she is not comfortable right now, I think, in morning also. So if everyone is comfortable, you have to be sharp at 6, wake up at 5:30, attend 6 to 7:30 my IDT, then 7:45 to 9:30, because it was previously my time was this only. And I was more comfortable, I was also more comfortable if every one of you, and if I'm not asking now, if that depends on you whether you would be comfortable or not. But if everyone is comfortable, we can shift it to this one. Done? So can we shift it from tomorrow only 6 to 7:30 IDT, then 7:45 to 9:30 would be our DT. Okay. Chalo. Better for me also, because I am a early riser. I wake up usually at 4:30. It would be better. So what about you? Okay. Sure. I have also asked that Sir Balaji sir, he is also comfortable. So now we are starting with yet another new person. Yeah. Yet another very important topic, that is poem. That is poem, and it is nothing, it is all about residential status of a company. So residential status of company. See, why I have asked this, that yesterday you have done that task. Have you noticed, whosoever has done the task, that always it is the question of domestic company only? Always they frame a question number 1, and that question number 1 is only about domestic company, either to apply MAT, either not to apply MAT. So at least we are clear that question number 1, 90% chances, 10% anything could happen. 90% chance will be your domestic company. Anytime they want to frame a very good paper, very good means very good. If they mix the residential status in that first identify the type of company, whether it is domestic, whether it is foreign. So we should be prepared. They may give this kind of thing, that first identify the residential status of company. So every domestic company is always a resident. So domestic company is always a resident. Now it comes to foreign company. Whether a foreign company is a resident or not, it will depend on its poem. What is the full form of poem?
Place of effective management.
Yes, place of effective management. So see. Now we are concerned about the company. We are checking the residential status. When I talk about a domestic company, the company that has been formed itself in India, it is always domestic company, is always resident. But when it comes to a foreign company, the foreign company needs to be checked, and that checking is done based on the concept that is poem. This is done based on checking the concept that is poem. Now, what is the meaning of poem? First of all, I should know what is the meaning of poem. That is nothing but place of effective management. Now, what do you mean by only this word, the place of effective management? What do you mean by this word, that is place of effective management? This place of effective management means, suppose there are commercial transactions going on. There are commercial transactions that are going on. Where? In India. That means to whom the order should be dispatched, to whom the order should not be dispatched, who should be hired as a HR, who should not be hired as HR. That means general commercial things are going on in India. One thing. And second is management related decision, management strategy, all that decision. So management related decisions are being taken in India. When I talk about effective management is not your commercial transactions. It is always management decision. And by only management decision, it should not only be management decision, it should be key management decisions. Little bit management decision is not my effective management in India. So if a foreign company is having place of effective management means key management decision, as well as place of effective management means key commercial decisions also. There are certain key commercial decisions that are very important and decides whether to continue this unit or not. Suppose I have opened a franchisee somewhere and I found that number of students are not more. So that is a key commercial decision whether to introduce any video lecture, recorded lecture there or not. So place of effective management include both the things. It should be key commercial decision, it should be key management decision. But if it is normal decision does not make it as a effective management. So if a foreign company is having place of effective management in India, that is nothing but key commercial and key management decisions are being taken in India. I can say it is a resident of India. I can say it is what? A resident of India. But is it relevant? Itna padna hai kya nahi? How to check this? Actually, the place of effective management is in India. There are certain conditions, and on the basis of condition, we have to check whether they are having this place of effective management in India or not. So first of all, are you clear with the structure? A domestic company is always resident. But when it comes to foreign company, I have to check POEM. POEM is nothing but place of effective management, where should be in India. Place of effective management is nothing but key commercial and key management decision should be taken in India. Now, yes.
यहाँ पे की कॉमर्शियल डिसीजन या फिर ट्रांजैक्शन होगा?
Key commercial decision, key commercial transactions. I would
both are different.
Probably I would write this. Okay.
Okay.
That is a better word and perfect word. Sure. Now, what are the conditions to see whether the place of effective management is in India or not? So the first and the foremost thing you have to check. If active business is outside India and majority of the board meeting are outside India. Now the conditions are not given in positive sense. They have been given in negative sense. If a foreign company is having active business outside India, If a foreign company is having majority of the board meeting, it is board meeting, not annual general meeting. Majority of the board meeting is outside India. If both the conditions are satisfied, again it is end. It may be possible, what I am saying, it may be possible that it is foreign company not resident in India. Ma'am, when both the conditions are satisfied, still you are saying the word may be possible. Yes, because you will come to know that there is substance over form. We will check that thing also. But for the time being, right now, I will say if both the conditions are satisfied, yes, the foreign company is non-resident, because in negative sense they have given the conditions. So if active business outside India, agar bahut normal, if I talk about very normal meaning of active business, means all the active business are taking place outside India, all the transactions outside India, everything outside India. So if active business outside India and majority of the board meeting, why board meeting? In board meeting only the strategies are decided. Board is the one who decides the strategy. If everything is happening outside India, key commercial decision getting and key management decision both are outside India. Board meeting is for management decision, active business is key commercial. So everything is outside India. Yes, it is non-resident. Till now clear with poem and linkage of these two conditions. Else it will be resident. But how I will identify whether it is active business or not? First of all, to check whether a foreign company is resident or not, you have to check whether poem is in India or poem is outside India. In order to check poem, you are checking two conditions. Active business outside India. Key majority of the board meeting outside India. Now to check the active business, you have to check all these four conditions. Now you have to check all these four conditions. If one of the condition failed to satisfy, in that condition, it is non-resident. That means all this and all this condition has to be satisfied. This question comes, there are 2-3 questions based on this concept. Okay. Now, first condition is, if passive income is not more than 50% of total income. Now, what is passive income? First of all, they said poem. Then we understood two conditions of poem. Then they say active business in it. In active business, there are 4 conditions. In 4 conditions, the first condition is your passive income should not be more than 50% of your total income. Now, what is passive income? Are you getting? Under. बहुत सारे. So passive income is very easy. It is very logical. Active business means what? PGBP income. Active business is nothing. Your PGBP income. So apart from all those, apart from PGBP, everything is your passive income. Na? Active is your PGBP income. And if you skip that, your other source income, your house property income, your capital gain income, that are all your passive income. But if I talk about interest and you are a bank, if you are a banking company, interest will be your active income. Are you getting the logic? So, सबसे पहले, in order to check the residential status of a foreign company, poem is key commercial and key management decision. Key commercial means active business outside India. Key management means majority of the board meeting outside India. If both the conditions are satisfied, yes, it is non-resident. Now, how to check active business outside India? Active business outside India, first condition, your passive income should not be more than 50% outside India. Your passive income should not be more than 50% of your total income. यहाँ पे at this place there is no concept of outside India. When it comes to passive income, don't even do a mistake of writing your 50%, more than 50% is outside India. It would be totally wrong. If entirely I am earning 10 crore rupees and my 6 crore is only from interest, capital gain, house property, that means my active business is not more than 50%. So that is the logic. If your total income If you earn more than 50% from passive income, that means there is no active business. Are you getting the logic? So first is your passive income should not be more than 50%. It should not be more than 50% of your total income. Understood this thing? Don't make a mistake of writing here outside India. It is entire total income, not outside India. Okay. Second, now everything, if you have total assets located in India, whatever is your total asset in India and outside India, US, Paris, wherever, whatever is your total asset, and more than 50% of the total asset is in India. Why it is in India? If more than 50% of your total asset is located in India, that means you are having active business actually in India. Asset तो वही होगी ना जब business होगा. Your asset will be located at the place you have the business. तो asset वही होगी जब business होगा. तो भाई जब तुम्हारी total asset, overall total asset का 50%, more than 50% asset is situated in India, that means you are not having active business outside India. So that's why they are saying if less than 50% is located in India, then we will consider yes, you are having active business outside India. Similarly, if out of the total employee, overall total employee, if they less than 50% located in India or less than 50% resident in India, both the words. If they are located also, then also you have to count. If they are resident of India, then also you have to count. If out of the total employee, less than 50% located or less than 50% resident in India, that means employee is not in India. Actually, the majority of the employee are outside India. Okay, active business outside India. Then, out of your total payroll expense is on labor employee. Out of your total payroll expense, you spend less than 50,000 on the employee who are situated in India. So obviously, if majority of the expense for the employees outside India, that means again your active business is outside India. So the four conditions, two conditions based on employee, payroll expense and resident and situation of employee, that is stay of employee. One condition related to asset and one condition related to income. In a business, what are the key elements? Key element is nothing but your income, your assets and your employee. They are checking all these three conditions. So two conditions related to your employee, that is payroll expense and location of employee. One related to your income and related to your asset. If all these four conditions satisfied, then we will consider your active businesses outside India. And majority of the board meeting, out of 10 meetings, 8 meetings are outside India. If both the conditions are satisfied, then we may say that active businesses outside India. Clear till now? Now, suppose majority of board meeting is outside India. Done. Majority of the board meeting is actually outside India, but the person who are taking the decisions, are actually resident of India. What they have planned, we all are resident of India. We will go to Paris, we will enjoy and we will take decisions over there. This will not be good. This is a loophole. So they have specifically said substance over form need to be checked. That means if majority of the board meeting is held outside India, but the person taking the decision are resident of India, in that case, the poem is not outside India. The poem is in India and it is a resident company. Got that thing? That means place of implementation of decision is not important. Place of implementation of the decision is not important. Place where the decision are made is important, as well as the person who is taking the decision is important. If I'm taking decisions in India, place of taking the decision is important. If I'm taking outside India, then the person who is taking the decision is important. If I'm taking decisions in India, place is important. If I'm taking outside India, I will check the substance over form. That means who is the person who are taking the decisions. Got it? So this is the concept of your poem. First of all, company. If it is an Indian company, always resident. Any other company, I have to check the concept of poem. If poem is in India, it would be resident, and if poem is not in India, it would be non-resident. What is poem? Place of key management and commercial decision, that is decision necessary to conduct the business, has to be checked. What is the test of poem? The test of poem is if active business is outside India and majority of the board meeting both are outside India, then he is non-resident, otherwise he is a resident. How to check all these things, that is your active business outside India? Check if passive income not more than 50% of your total income. That means you have a majority of the active income only. If total asset, out of the total asset, less than 50% situated in India, out of total employee, less than 50% are resident or located in India, out of your total payroll expense, less than 50% of the payroll expense is on employee in India. If all these conditions satisfied, then only we will consider it to be active business outside India. Now, what is passive income? In passive income, we have not done this thing, but we have done this thing. Income by royalty, income by dividend, income by capital gain, rental income. Are you getting? These are not active income. Your royalty is other source income, your dividend is other source income, your capital gain is other source. That means not from PGBP. In that sense, I'm saying it is from other sources. So these are all your other income, not from active business. Derived from whether associate enterprise or not an associate enterprise. Now, what is associate, what is not an associate enterprise, we will come to know. From wherever you are deriving this income, we are not concerned, but if you are deriving this income, that is your passive income. But if interest is earned by the banking company, they are having, this is the business. This is the business of a banking company. If they are earning interest, then it will be included here only. Done? Now, concept of passive income. Transaction between purchase, sale of goods to or from associate enterprise. Now, what is associate enterprise? Basically, when we will come to the chapter of transfer pricing, there is a detail about the associate enterprise and very important definition. But for the time being, associate is nothing but my unit, my branch. Very common word if I'm using my branch, my unit, my subsidiary, my holding. That means my relative only. We are same actually. So they are saying if you are having transaction, you are selling something to your associate, you are buying something from your associate, that means actually you are dealing with yourself only. That is nothing. Earning profit from self. Earning profit from self. It is not your active business. That is considered passive. So if you sell or purchase, you sell to or you purchase from your associate, it would not be considered as your active business. It would be considered as your passive business. Okay, give me a moment. Yes. Be back. Jana, Priya, Akansha, Abhishek. Now this. If board does not exercise the power of management and the power has been exercised by a holding company, mute yourself. You have any question? So this was basically a passive income. Now coming to board wala part. If board does not exercise the power of management and the power has been exercised by a holding company or other person resident in India, OEM will be considered to be in India. Suppose the board is outside India but they are not utilizing the power of effective management. That means place where decisions are made is important. If your holding company is in India and holding company is taking all the commercial decisions and it is in India, the place where decisions are implemented is not important, rather the place where decisions are taken is important. So in that case, even though the board is outside India, even the majority board meeting outside India, but the person taking the decision is resident of India, it will be considered to be poem having in India. That means both the conditions need to be satisfied, active business and majority of the board meeting. But if the person is taking decision from India, substance over form will overrule these two conditions and your poem will be considered in India itself. Done? Now, we have talked about income, we have talked about assets. Now, what would be the value of all these things? We have talked now, total asset 50%, less than 50% in India, total income less than 50% passive income. So income you will consider as per the tax law of company incorporation, the place where the company has been incorporated, because it is a foreign company, the place where the company incorporated, as per their tax law, what is the total income you should consider. If the company is not liable to that tax law, then whatever written in the books of account might be in that country, company is not mandatorily required to pay the taxes. So check the books of account. Whatever income has been written in their books of account, you will consider as total income. Any question on this? No. There is no question. They will directly give you this is income, total the income and calculate the 50%. Then value of asset. If it is depreciable asset and if it is non-depreciable asset. For non-depreciable asset, obviously the book value would be considered. But when it comes to depreciable asset, you have to take the average of opening closing WDV from the block of asset of that country. Is there any question on this till now? No. But can we expect a MCQ like this? Yes. We can expect little bit MCQ from this. So when it comes to depreciable asset, opening mein what was the WDV, closing mein what was the WDV, take an average and this value should be taken according to their respective tax law. If again the company is not required to make block of asset, again take the books of account ki value. Done? Number of employee, again average. Beginning mein what was the number of employee, end mein what was the number of employee, take an average. Now comes this point, it has been asked in question. They say you include employee whether they are located in India or whether they are resident in India. Both the employees are included. Resident as well as located, both the employees are included. But along with that, if an employee has been with you for only 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 4 months, that means on contract basis. So include the employee who is on contract basis and performing similar task as your employee is performing. Whatever task your regular employee is performing, you have to consider that. So whatever task your regular employee is performing, do consider that. And if they are on contract basis, the other employees are on contract basis, you have to include all those employees also. Done? And for payroll expense, nothing. Cost of salary and bonus. For payroll, nothing. Cost of salary and bonus total. So average in two things. Asset ki value mein average you have to take and number of employee average you have to take. Done? Now after this, again an average. This data will be average of 3 years. Preceding 3 years. Current year and before current year, that 2 years. Overall average of these 3 years, and this overall concept of poem would not apply. Overall concept of poem would not apply if your turnover or gross receipt less than or equal to 50 crore. Even if it is equal to 50 crore, the concept of poem would not be applicable. Done? Who is having the book right now, compact? See, right now I'm sharing this note, but these are not the notes that I will be provided in the class. That fresh notes will be provided tomorrow. So just refer from here. Okay, read from these notes that I have shown. Sharing with you. Okay. And all of you take a 2 minutes break. थोड़ा घूम के आओ, अपने आप को एक्टिव करके आओ. ठीक है? All of you are like, बस सुनना है, बस I have to listen anyhow. Go take a 3 minutes break I am providing to you. ठीक है? अच्छे से पानी पियो, मुंह धो और फिर से बकअप करो. चलो वापस आओ, गेट बैक. हाउस द जोश? बोलो, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
Hi.
Hi. Again, how's the Josh?
Hi.
Is it all about the prefix CA? Itna alas, so much lazy. I can see everyone like this. Then I have never kept it 2 hours का DT मैंने कभी रखा भी नहीं था. For this attempt only I did because mentoring and all I have included. That's why I did it for 2 hours. Otherwise it was for 1.5 hours only, and that was so effective because 1.5 घंटे के बाद mind का ना थोड़ा सा downfall चालू था. Then I used to give 15 minutes का break. So what is the logic of 2 hours class? So I will see. I will observe you for 1 week. And if I find that this is the same condition, then I will extend to 60 days. But I will, for me, I would suggest कि अच्छे से पढ़ना is more important rather than यूं ही पढ़ना, है ना राम? Because there is no use if you are doing like this. आधा तो पता मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है, मेरे को अगर नींद आ रही है तो I am like this and I think मुझे सब आ रहा है, everything is going in my head. And जब मैं ओपन करती हूँ मैं ये सोचती हूँ मैंने टॉपिक कौन सा पढ़ा है. मेरे साथ तो ये होता है. I can't do. कुछ लोग ऐसे आंख बंद करके they keep on listening and I'm like मैं आंख बंद करूँ तो मैं 2 मिनट में नींद जाऊँगा तो I will sleep. So I will observe you for 1 week, and if it is the same scenario, instead of 50 days class, we will consider it as a 60 days class, so that at least you would be better. Okay. So now any objections on this? No, we'll kill you. So DT itself, someone suggested me, ma'am, I want to join your classes. Please keep DT at night. मैंने कहा IDT could be kept at night, but DT is impossible to study at night because already the subject is so burdensome. Every word has a logic, and you are keeping at night, not at all possible. चलो start करें. I'm revising. Now you have to tell me. There are only 3 people who are resident and not an ordinary resident. Who are the 3 people? Unmute yourself. Quickly, you have to answer. There are 3 people only who are resident and not an ordinary resident.
Indian citizen having income greater than 15 lakh and not taxable anywhere in India. He will मतलब वो हमेशा resident और not ordinary resident ही रहेगा, मतलब वो जो deemed resident and 120 days वाला. If a person
Indian
has,
citizen.
There are 3 person I am talking about. You are itself getting the question wrong. There are only 3 persons who are resident and not an ordinary resident. Who are those?
Individual HUF and
Company.
some charitable trust.
Let us create now. Let us create a third one.
No. I
Company.
studied last night.
Artificial social person.
Artificial.
अरे भाई, there were only 2 person who are resident and not an ordinary resident. Individual and HUF. So don't be a Becom wala answer. Let us create the third one because that has been asked. There are only and only 2 person, individual and HUF. Now, when I talk about Indian citizen, there is a condition. If you stay in India for less than 120 days and your income is more than 15 lakh, you could be resident and not an ordinary resident. What is the condition? You are an Indian citizen, stay in India for less than 120 days. You are Indian citizen, stay in India for less than 180 to 120 days and having total income greater than 15 lakh. What is the condition for you to be resident and not an ordinary resident?
income कहीं भी taxable नहीं होनी चाहिए, deemed resident वाला.
Deemed resident.
So deemed resident, there we do not see the number of days. There the only concern is more than 15 lakh, no domicile, no resident. Now third. Place of effective management. The important thing is place of implementation, not the place where the decisions are made. Valid?
Invalid.
Invalid. Then if I talk about my holding company situated in India, okay, my holding, किसी क्या ना बहुत शोर हो रहा है किसी एक क्या, yes, Priya. मैं कहती हाँ, if my holding company is situated in India, however, all of the decisions are being taken outside India, whether the company would be having poem in India or not.
No.
Yes, ma'am, because active business activity will be going in India.
I have told you, right now you have said valid invalid. Sudhir, right now you said valid invalid, then place where decisions are taken are more important rather than implementation. And I'm saying holding companies in India, decisions are taking outside India. Remember that substance over form wala concept. Then if your holding company is in India and decisions are taken outside India, still poem will be in India. ऐसे ना यहाँ से तुम लोग के कान खींचे जाने चाहिए.
Business पूरा इंडिया से, पूरे बिजनेस इंडिया से कंट्रोल हो रहा है तो प्रेसिडेंट.
सब्सटेंस ओवर फॉर्म का मतलब क्या है कि भाई डिसीजन कहाँ लिए जा रहे हैं, दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. तो डिसीजन कहाँ लिया जा रहा है, इफ द डिसीजन इज टेकिंग आउटसाइड इंडिया तो द एक्टिव बिजनेस इज आउटसाइड इंडिया. इफ डिसीजन इज टेकन इन इंडिया, active business is in India. If your holding company is in India but decisions are taking outside India but holding company is in India, that means it is a resident of India. The person taking the decisions are resident of India. When they are resident of India, again poem is in India only. Remember that substance over form, you have to check where the decisions are made or the person taking decision, whether it is resident of India or not. You have to check both the things. Now tell me, a person, Indian citizen, leaves India for the purpose of the foreign ship as a crew member of the foreign ship. What is the tenure that will be excluded from his calculation of residential status? I have explained some tenure that will be excluded. Wait, Priya.
Foreign ship है ना.
Wait, Priya. Yes.
Ma'am, we will go with the basic conditions and additional conditions normal.
So would we exclude that time?
It's a foreign ship, so we don't need to calculate.
That is the place you are wrong. Exclusion is for everything. Only the 182 days का condition वो apply होगा when it is Indian citizen and Indian ship. If it is Indian citizen and foreign ship, 182 days का condition, but exclusion will be there na. If he is not in India, you will exclude that thing. Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, ma'am. वो जिस दिन शिप पे जाएगा और शिप मतलब
sign, not ship पे जाएगा. There is a discharge certificate they have to sign.
Okay.
So very good. Let me create an MCQ on that. Suppose the Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship. He decides that he is leaving India on 1st of May. On 5th of May, he is on board. On 8th of May, he signs the discharge certificate. Okay. Then he comes back to India. He crosses the border on 16th April.
ఏరా చిన్నకొండ పరిచయం చేసిన వాళ్ళని చిన్నకొండ పరిచయం చేసినావా?
Okay, I just listened to some other language. कुछ समझ नहीं आया मुझे. चलो.
It's Telugu, ma'am.
It is very tough.
Lot of slangs, so bit difficult.
Now calculate.
86 days.
Others also answer.
$85 days.
85. Not excluding eight, not including 8th May.
Why not including 8th May? जल्दी जल्दी आंसर करो, ये एक एमसीक्यू है. You have only 1.5 minutes for an MCQ.
86.
86, ma'am.
Ram, you are very late in answering. Why?
Confusion, ma'am.
Also one concept. When he signs the discharge certificate and when he comes back and signs the discharge certificate, the rest is irrelevant. Everything is irrelevant here. We are not concerned about, wait, I'm not concerned about this. I'm not concerned about this. This is irrelevant. This is irrelevant. This is irrelevant. Just you have to calculate time from this and time from this only, and that is excluded because when he signs the discharge certificate when he was going and when he comes back and again sign the discharge certificate that I'm back, that time period will be excluded. So this was all irrelevant. Got it? So that means you need more practice on practicals. You are good with the theory part, you understood, but when it comes to logical application, you are lacking in that, and that could be improved only when you focus on keywords. Okay? चलो, नींद उठी थोड़ी गई better. चलो. Now coming to HUF. HUF का who can tell me the residential status? Very simple.
Where Karta resides.
Where Karta resides? Is it directly that? That is the additional condition for Karta. You have to check when you have to see resident ordinary or not in ordinary. Tell me, what is HUF ka residential status?
Karta must be resident of India and
Oh, IPCC वालों, intermediate वालों बच्चों. Very good. So for HUF, point number 1, check whether control and management wholly or partly in India or outside India. If the control and management is wholly in India, in fact partly in India, it is resident. That is the basic condition for HUF. If control and management in India wholly or partly, control also, management also. You have wholesale control, you have wholesale management. Control management in India, whether wholly, whether partly, resident. If control management outside India, complete outside India, it is non-resident. If control and management wholly, partly in India, I have to check now the additional condition. Why? To check whether HUF is ordinary resident or HUF is not an ordinary resident. In order to be ordinary or not an ordinary, now I will see the Karta. If Karta fulfills both the additional condition, what was the additional condition? 2 years resident out of 10 years, 730 days out of 7 years. If both the conditions are fulfilled by the Karta, he is resident and ordinary resident, that is HUF. And if karta fulfills only one additional condition or does not fulfill the additional condition at all, that is resident and not an ordinary resident. This was the basic and very simple HUF. For basic condition, check one thing. Whether control management wholly partly in India, resident. Then additional condition of karta. If overall control management outside India, khatam, non-resident. Done? Now, when it comes to partnership firm, when it comes to what partnership firm, LLP, in that case also, control and management, wholly outside India, non-resident, control and management, wholly partly in India, resident. There you would not check additional condition. Additional conditions are checked only in two cases, individual HUF, and that is the reason only individual HUF is resident and not an ordinary resident. Okay? For firm, either control management wholly outside India or control management wholly partly in India. Khatam. This completes the topic of residential status. Overall topic of your residential status stands completed here. Any doubt in this? This is so logical and so basic. Expecting a question, only and only you will find question from poem. That concept might be asked. When it comes to individual wala part, you can expect when they will give you the calculate the residential total income of individual, they might include, chances only 20%. Only 20% chance that they will ask the residential status of individual because they have already trained this thing in inter. They expect that now you are trained in inter, they don't know that you forget after inter everything. Okay? Now very important. Scope of total income. Scope of income very, very, very important.
Just a second. HUF का additional condition क्या था बस वो बता.
Same. जो individual है ना, karta is individual. So karta is individual. That additional condition 2 years and 730 days.
Okay.
Same.
So we have to see that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब तुम इंटर के इतने बेसिक डाउट अच्छे से पूछते ना, बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. चलो. Now we are on scope of total income. Scope of total income. अब मैं क्लियरली बोल रही हूँ, डोंट इवन थिंक कि थोड़ा ऐसे कुछ नहीं, बिकॉज दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट many of the student wants me to repeat again and again and again, and this is really very good concept as well as overall international taxation में when it comes to non-resident taxation, this is the most vital concept, more important concept. Are you very alert so that I would start today, or should I give you a leave for 15 minutes now and start from tomorrow? Whatever you prefer, because this is very important.
Tomorrow, ma'am.
चलो, एक विकेट डाउन. Akansha?
Tomorrow.
Very good. 2 wicket down. Sudhir? Huh?
Tomorrow.
Very good. 3. Jana?
Come today.
हाँ, एक तो बोलना पड़ेगा ना. प्रिया? प्रिया? क्या? Today हम कर दो. अभिषेक? बोलो बोलो जल्दी. एक तो म्यूट करके बोला करो. तुमका एक तो म्यूट के लिए मुझे पहले नोटिफिकेशन देना पड़ता है. टुडे मैम. चलो टुडे 3-3 हो गए. बहुत बढ़िया. दैट इज अ टाई. अब मुझे मैं बता देती हूँ. दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज ऑफ 1 hour. टोटल 1.5 hour. ठीक है. छोटा सा एक कॉन्सेप्ट दोनों की बातें रखते हुए छोटा सा कॉन्सेप्ट करा रही हूँ. इनकम. If you are a resident, scope of income में, if you are a resident, your overall global income will be taxable because you are resident of India. Let make it very simple. You are part of my family. Okay, let's consider a joint family. You are part of this family. So from wherever you earn income, please pay the family a part of it. It usually happens in family when you are in joint family. From wherever you earn income, you have to give the amount for the expenses of family. So whether you are earning from India, whether you are earning from outside India, whether you are earning from other source, whatever it is, pay. So India is a family. We all Indians are brothers and sisters. Okay? So India is a family. So from wherever you earn, if you are resident of India, that means you are part of our family. So from wherever you earn, you have to give taxes in India. Clear with the logic? Second, person non-resident. I'm skipping right now person resident and non-resident. Now you are person non-resident. You do not reside in India. You are not part of our family. So why I would like to pay you the taxes only when you receive something from India. Nexus. If you receive something from India. If income accrue in India, if income arise in India, or income deemed to accrue, deemed to arise, मान लिया, we have just assumed that this income has accrue arise in India. So basically, when it comes to non-resident, from wherever you earn, we are not concerned. But if you are earning from my sources, earning from India, receiving from India, accruing from India, deemed to accrue, deemed to arise in India, then non-resident, you have to pay taxes here. Now linking again this to the family. If some cousin brother comes and stay with us, you have to just, you are not required to pay wholesale amount. Just pay if you are expending something for you, just pay that to us. So this is simply that logic. If you are coming to India and India is giving you some sources, give commission to India. That commission is nothing but taxes. If you are earning from India, we are the source of your earning. So if we are the source of your earning, please give us some part of it. Get it? Now comes to very good part. In non-resident only, in non-resident, there is a concept that is related to business connection. Non-resident, if having business outside India, entire business is outside India, his still income will be taxable in India. Why? Because he will be having business connection in India. A very large concept, business connection. It is again 25 minutes the concept, only business connection. So at least be clear. Here resident, your global income will be taxable. Non-resident, only when the nexus lies in India, your income will be taxable. But what about the resident and not an ordinary resident? He is non-resident also a little bit. He is resident also a little bit. In that case, they are saying, if your profession or business is set up in India, if your profession or business has a setup in India, that means setup should be in India. For that PGBP, you have to pay us the taxes. And if income accrue in India, arise in India, deemed to accrue in India, deemed to arise in India, then only you will pay the taxes. That means a minute difference. When it comes to non-resident, business connection has to be seen for PGBP. Business connection. But when it comes to resident and not an ordinary resident, you would not see business connection. You would see setup of profession or business control. If the business control is in India, if the profession is set up in India, then only resident and not an ordinary resident will pay taxes. Apart from this, deemed to accrue, deemed to arise, deemed to receive, that is same for resident as well as non-resident. So compiling it again, resident, forget everything. Everything is taxable for you. Non-resident, only income received, accrue, deemed to arise in India, taxable. But what about PGBP? If you have business connection in India, then only it will be taxable. Then what about resident and not an ordinary resident? Again, income received, deemed to receive, accrue, arise, taxable. What about PGBP? If you have profession set up in India or businesses controlled in India, then only you would be required to pay the taxes. This is nothing but scope of income. Now, in this scope of income, I am again repeating that income deemed to accrue, deemed to arise, that is section number 9, and that is the lengthiest part. It will take at least 45 minutes to explain, and in that, 20 minutes for your business connection. Then coming to income deemed to receive in India, छोटा सा 3 point only. Income deemed to receive in India, point number 1. If from your unrecognized provident fund, you are transferring the amount to a recognized provident fund. It will be deemed to receive in India. It will be what? Deemed to receive in India, because you are transferring from unrecognized to recognized provident fund, but the recognized provident fund is from India. So we will assume all non-resident, that is income deemed to receive in India, or resident and non-ordinary resident. This is an income that is deemed to be received in India. मान लिया हमने. Second, any employer contribution on which you earn interest greater than 9.5%. So if you are earning any interest greater than that, मान लिया, we have assumed that income is received from India. It is that simple. Only this concept, income received in India. Any question asked till now? No. What is the question that asked from that section number 9? Okay. So residential status done. Now we will move toward the scope of total income. I hope I have also explained something, and I have also left something for tomorrow. So everyone, your vote is valid. Okay. So from tomorrow I will give you a message. If it is from 6, tonight I will discuss everything again in IDT. Then we will start from 6 in the morning till 7:30 IDT. Then 7:45 to 9:30. That means your 15-minute break already reduced, and that will be DT. Okay. Okay, Sudhir, good job. Wake up.